come on in, come on in, come on into the powder room because you know you missed me. We're going to do things a little different tonight. What's going on with you now?
I'm on the wrong page.
Like I said, we're going to do things a little different tonight. Oh, boy. Pour up a little bubbly. Oh, shit. Let me see.
I'm talking about your video. Mine wrong, too.
No.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to pour up a little bubbly tonight. Barefoot. What's that say? I can't see.
Riesling.
Riesling. Is this Moscato?
It's Riesling.
Riesling? What the hell is Riesling?
It's kind of sweet, but it's kind of not as sweet as Moscato. So it's like the perfect blend of dry and sweet.
Okay, let me have your glass.
Ooh.
Pour a little bubbly.
Where's my finger?
That's it?
For now.
Okay.
Hello.
Pour me a little bubbly. Ew, I like the sound. I like the sound of the little bubbly. Girl, we got a cheers. You don't just start drinking. We got a cheers.
Is that the rule?
Yes. In the powder room, anyway. Cheers.
Toast to a good show.
Good show. Toodles.
All right. All right.
Come on into this powder room because you know what? What they know, Jay?
You miss me?
No, you don't sound nothing like that.
You
miss me. That's how
you know you miss me.
Girl.
Hello.
I love that.
That's what I'm saying. It's not as dry.
No, it's
and it's
crisp.
not as sweet. It's like the perfect blend.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
That's my wine. That's my drink.
Well, my name is Cleopatra. I'm the host of Table Talk Thursday, as well as the host here in the powder room. There's no telling where this conversation may go when we introduce a little bubbly. But let me introduce my guest over here. Let my guest introduce herself, that is. Do I need to do it?
Janae is at the table, and I am starving.
No, I am greedy.
You have to excuse me. Eating a little snack.
What's your name? There's something I want to talk about. We talk about this quite often, but it's not often that you and I have a chance to sit here at the table in the powder room and talk about this. I think that you are single. I'm not talking about you, shit, personally. I don't know nothing about your business.
Awesome, get you.
They don't know nothing. This has nothing to do with our personal relationships. This is a conversation we're going to put here at the table.
Mm-hmm.
You are single until you're married. And I do not understand how a woman can be in a relationship and not show wifey qualities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I want to talk about for a minute. How can you be in a relationship and not show wifey qualities?
I don't think you can, because naturally women show their nurturing side. Naturally women...
Baby, hit the camera over here.
Girl,
you gotta look me in my face.
Girl, naturally people want to cook and clean and just take care of their man. Those are wifely duties, I feel. So I think that it's difficult to be in a relationship and not show that you have wifely qualities.
But how long is the question?
I don't think there's a time frame.
Because...
But how do you not show your qualities if you're in a relationship? Like, how do you do that?
By not living together.
Even if you don't live together, when you're in each other's spaces, I think there are still things that women do that show that they would be a great wife, even without living together.
Mm-hmm. That's true. You're not going to be sitting
Hello.
here. Wait a minute. You're not going to be sitting here looking me in my face when we have cameras.
And you're not gonna be staring at me through the mirror. Nikki said, if being a wife is in you, then it's gonna show.
We understand that. But my thing is this. It's almost like you are auditioning for a certain part in his life. You have to prove to him that you are qualified.
Yeah.
Let me say it again. You have to prove to him that you are qualified for the job.
And I don't like that. Because I actually feel like I was put in a situation, probably not intentionally, but the types of questions this man was saying to me and the energy that I was getting made me feel as if he was, like I was interviewing.
What kind of questions?
Ooh, one thing he said was, what type of qualities do you think that you are as a woman, like that you would be or that you have? I said, excuse me?
That sounds like a legit question to me.
No, not if it's in a situation where y'all have equal interests and y'all are both looking for a relationship and partnership. Girl, you're not gonna do that.
Go ahead, girl.
That was an interview question. That kind of makes me feel equivalent to the question of what is it that you bring to the table.
Right.
That I don't like that. I don't like that. And then another question or another comment that he made, he was feeling a certain type of way about something that had happened throughout his day. And he actually said, this is your time
to prove.
This is your time to show me what you would say or how you would comfort me if you were my woman. Excuse me?
He's actually telling you what most men are thinking. He's just verbalizing what he's saying.
It just threw me off.
Because that's what it's basically all about.
But if that is what it's basically all about, then just let it be what that's about. You don't actually say that to. I don't think.
But he has to wait and
see
what type of woman you would be to him as a wife.
So you're saying that I'm supposed to be on showing you based on you asking that question? Because my whole thing is, you don't have to ask me those types of questions. If you just relax in your man space, you'll see what type of woman I am. You'll be able to observe how I'm responding to you if you're having a bad day or certain things like that. You don't ask me or say this is your time to show me what you would do. That just threw me off. Hello. Hello.
Girl, we having a
conversation.
conversation. This is how I look them directly in their damn eyes.
So what is the problem when I'm looking at you?
But because that's creepy. Look this way. Look that way.
Absolutely not. Nikki said, tell me if I'm tripping, y'all. Nikki said, men are the ones that ask for our hand in marriage. So I believe they do seek a certain quality in a woman.
Yep.
He should be smoother than that, not an interview date. That's all I'm saying.
That's what dates are all about. Basically trying to get to know each other.
I just don't like that. Things have to be more natural.
For you don't like that. So it sounds like to me, you are the controlling one in a relationship. You are the one that wants to take the lead in how things should go. That's what it sounds like to me.
That has nothing to do with control. The same goes with you're getting to know somebody. I had another guy ask me through text message. Before, he said hi, and along with hi, he said, do you believe in God? Do you plan on having children? What do you look like? Excuse me.
Wait a minute. This was on a one conversation?
The first conversation. Excuse me.
That was too much for you?
It's kind of overwhelming because, hi, let me speak to you. Let's just see how the conversation flows. Let's just see where it goes.
And see, that's why I call you coach. Because everyone is not going to see things the way Coach True see things.
So Nikki said, might I add, you ladies look beautiful. Well, thank you, darling.
Thank you, darling.
Hello, hello. Ooh, we have a request to be added.
Oh my God. To the Zoom?
See. Oh, if you want to be added, click it again.
They can be added to the Zoom, right?
Or join the Zoom. Let me put the link in there. But tell me, is it appropriate for somebody to ask you those types of questions just off top? Or is it okay to want to have a genuine, natural conversation where it just flows? I don't like forced communication. And that has nothing to do with me being coach.
What I'm
Think
saying,
logically.
What I'm saying is that every conversation is not going to go how you want it to go. And to me, that weeds out the bull crap. based on how a conversation is flowing. If a conversation is flowing, it's quite natural that you want to take things to the next level. But if a conversation feels forced, as you say, that may not be the person for you. If a conversation feels like you're being interviewed, that may not be the relationship or, something that you want to pursue.
Maxwell said, I don't think she's controlling, but she's used to being the one defining the relationship expectations.
Control!
Oh, I have to disagree with you, Maxwell. Because
you disagreeing with him as well? Why he's trying to check me?
He's agreeing that I'm not controlling, but he's also saying that I'm the one that's normally defining the relationship's expectations. Mm-hmm. No.
That sounds controlling to me.
I can say in my past, I feel like I've been a victim of whatever the situation. I'm going to call myself a victim, but I'm not playing victim. The reason why I say that is because sometimes when it comes to being in a relationship, in my past, I've fallen into a relationship just through flowing with it. Now, I do like flowing conversations, but when it comes to you calling yourself my man or calling me your woman, I think that should be a conversation, and I discussed that before. So when it comes to relationship expectations, I've never really been the one to define them until now. Now I have a voice in that, absolutely.
So
Maxwell wants to join on your video. Or you can join live on our Zoom.
When it comes to someone automatically saying, you're my woman, does that have to be a conversation beforehand? Or just something that naturally builds and grow, and we just develop this type of relationship with one another? Or are you saying that he needs to have a conversation with me before he says, I'm his woman?
I would like it to be known that
I know you.
Girl, I just said that.
I know.
I want to be for sure that that's what it is. I don't want to assume I'm your woman.
I'm saying, you're saying prior to him even saying, you're my woman, he need to have that conversation and say, hey, babe, I want you to be... No, he probably have to have a whole hoopla, a whole fiesta.
He don't have to do that. He can call me his woman in, our spaces when he's introduced me and all of that, but I would still like us to have that understanding that that's what that is. That's where assumptions can come into play.
Okay, we have a guest joining us. Welcome to the table. Do you have a question or comment?
So, Janae, do you think that because of how the past has gone for you, that you are a little more forceful in the expectations you're setting?
Forceful? Can you define that for me?
What would I say forceful? You know how people... Like somebody get bullied, right, in school, right? Mm-hmm. And they finally decide they've had enough. And then the next person that say something crazy to them, they just snap and kind of go hard on them.
Right.
Okay.
That's the vibe I'm getting from the answers that you're giving. It's kind of like you understand that you didn't get what you felt you deserved in prior relationships. Mm. And now you're kind of, when I say forceful, you're kind of letting it know up front, no, that's not what I'm going for. And you're kind of being the one who's not letting it flow.
Mm. Read it, Dr. Maxwell. Read it.
I'm not a doctor.
You know what I'm saying.
That's a good observation. Mm-hmm. That's a good observation. Mm-hmm. I can receive that.
And you're spot on.
Girl, go ahead. I can receive that. Mm-hmm. I think I'm not going to disagree with you. I don't want it to be forceful. I think it's the way that it comes off, and that's the way that I speak when it comes to me laying out what I'm looking for. So I probably can be a little bit more flexible and soft when it comes to the flow of that.
I was just about to say that. Why can't you be like the old you mixed with some of the new you?
I feel like I am.
The old her is gone. That person is vanished.
Well, I mean, you got to bring the good parts back, because I feel like based on what you were saying, that you would probably be very agreeable in a relationship, but you have to know, hey, we're in a relationship. Mm-hmm. But now you're kind of saying, hey, I set these expectations, and if you don't do what I think that I expect from you or how I feel you should act, then I'm out.
Oh, absolutely not.
That's what you just said. You said you felt like the man was interviewing you, even though in man speak, he was really being upfront with you and saying, hey, this is what I need from you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you choose to take this journey with me, this is what I'm expecting.
I understand that. And that's just me telling y'all what happened. But
I think it has something to do with timing. Girl, come on here. Come on. Go ahead.
Because when that conversation happened, I didn't even share what my response was. That's what my internal thoughts were saying. I don't like that. I didn't like the way that felt. I didn't like to feel like I was being interviewed. I actually answered his questions. I flowed with the conversation.
I mean, even though you answered it, but your mind was thinking like, yeah, this probably ain't gonna go well.
Yeah, she probably didn't talk to him after that.
Oh.
I'm just being honest. I don't know how the situation went after that, but I know from listening to you and the way that you think now, you did not continue the conversation with this person.
I did.
Did you?
I did.
Do you talk to
Are
him
you
now?
still dating him?
We have conversations. Not lately, no.
Oh, cause so you're not really that interested in him. Is he older?
He's older, but he's also someone that's familiar. So it's not something that was actively being pursued. It was kind of like something that was happening in conversation. If that makes sense.
I get all that, but I'm asking, how much older than you is he?
Like 4 or 5 years.
I don't even know how old are you. So how old is he?
Exactly. How old am I?
I don't know. That ain't my business. You don't ask a woman her age.
You
I
just
learned
asked
that
how
a
old
long
he
time
is,
ago.
so that's the same thing. I'm 32.
So he's 37,
36.
38.
He's 36.
Oh, he pushing 40. So he's at that point where he's actually looking for a life mate. So he's going to be a little more upfront with the women he deals with.
Yeah.
You just don't like him like that. Because had you liked him, I think you would have been more receptive to what he was saying and not took it as he was interviewing you. He was basically saying in so many words, hey, these are my needs. And if I'm going to be with you long term and hopefully get to marriage, I must express, because we horrible at expressing our needs.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's weird. You don't like him. It's okay.
And it sounds to me, Maxwell, like he was just being upfront with what he wanted, being that he is of a particular age. You know, when a person knows what they want, they're not going to lead you on. They're going to just come right up front. This is what it is for me. And if you're with that, we can continue on. If not, holla.
Yeah, he probably could have expressed it differently. But the mere fact that he is trying to express himself, he gets kudos for that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I understand. I respect that. And I'm actually in the space of trying to learn how to better accept people as they bring it and not feeling like it should be worded or phrased in a certain package. So just accepting people as they are. I can admit that.
Baby,
Hello. Read me.
I know you, baby. I know you.
But what about, wait a
yeah.
minute, that was one scenario. Which one are you referring to? Because I mentioned 2 different ones.
Well, I was talking about the last one. I heard the last one where the guy was like, this is your chance to be.
Oh, okay.
What was the first one?
The first one was, or maybe the second one was, the guy said, hi. Initial conversation. We never talked a day in my life. He said, hi. Are you, do you believe in God? Are you looking for children? What are you looking for long term? That's an interview to me.
Those are questions that you're going to need to know.
Those are good questions.
Yeah.
Okay. I answered them. It didn't
But
sit
that
well
turned
with
her
my
off.
spirit. It turned me off a little bit.
See?
But I answered them and I continued the conversation.
So it only turned you off because it was an interview? You felt like it was an interview?
I just felt like it was too many at one time. It didn't flow. It felt forced to me. Oh, girl. It didn't flow to me, but again, I answered the questions, and, I followed up, and I asked him a question. I'm like, how are you? What are you up to? And he followed back with something that just threw me all the way off, and that turned me all the way off. Now, let me know.
At 32, what's your end game when it comes to dating?
Marriage.
So you should be expecting these questions.
Well, after those 3 questions, I'm big on energy. Okay? I'm big on vibes. And initial conversations are important. So, hi, do you believe in God? What are your expectations? All of that, I answered that because you don't know me. I asked you, how are you? What are you up to? What you got going on? Whatever the questions was or were. And you text back, besides being sexually frustrated, I'm good. I don't know you.
Oh, no.
So that, you see what I'm
so
saying?
yeah.
With that tied back
No,
to,
right.
but it spun off of the first set of questions that was
Right.
too soon, and then you came with that. So I'm like, I knew I wasn't tripping.
Right. I feel you. Now.
You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to know how to gauge people in conversation sometimes, even if it is things that you would like to know. Hi.
So wait, what you met this dude like out or
Absolutely. not.
online?
Yeah, I tried that.
Oh, you met him online.
I tried it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because with this pandemic thing going on, when the pandemic first happened, that stopped a lot of things from happening as far as dating. So a lot of women were led to these dating apps, to try to meet people.
I'm not interested.
I tried the little dating apps as well. I'm not interested. Because to me, when this guy, I met this guy, and he said in his bio, it says, God-fearing. Okay, so I'm saying to myself, okay, he's going to be a good guy. Nice, somebody nice to talk to. Because one thing about women, when they meet a guy, they automatically already put him in a category as being a husband or a boyfriend or whatever, instead of just being a friend. So I said, okay. Our first conversation, he wanted to know about my fucking feet. I said, where's the God-fearing man in you?
Aren't those appropriate questions?
You don't ask nobody about their feet.
Why? Jesus let somebody wash his feet?
No, he wasn't talking about washing my damn feet. He wanted to massage them.
I'm just playing.
I know, but he wanted to massage my feet. And that just took me, that made me leery about all the other guys I've seen say I'm a God-fearing man. Is that just a cover-up for I'm a freak?
No, but if a guy has to tell you that, then he's probably not.
That threw me off. And then my
That's just like
response...
how you may see a woman post on her profile, I'm a good woman, I'm a great catch. Or if a woman tells you she don't like having females as friends, but she like dudes as friends, she's probably lying.
Those are red flags.
You ain't never noticed how most women that say they don't deal with females because they messy are usually some of the messiest people you meet.
Oh,
Hell,
absolutely.
I say that.
But absolutely.
And I wouldn't say they're messy. I just don't. It's just something about females, I just had not a good encounter with.
You also you come from a large family though, and it's mostly female, so I kind of get your reasoning. You need some testosterone around sometimes. I get it.
I don't have a problem with women though.
I don't have a problem with them either.
Women,
Or like
they receive me well.
I've heard women say they don't like liars, but they some of the biggest liars walking the face of the earth.
Stanley said, what's wrong with him wanting to massage your feet? Maybe a woman had a hard day at work.
Wait a minute, Stanley. Within the first 2 conversations, my feet should not even be a conversation.
Maybe he was showing you the type of qualities that he has.
I don't give a damn about his qualities as a man, and we've only talked twice. You said you're God-fearing.
So you wanted him to, the first message you and ask you to go to church with him?
I know you ain't damn talking.
Exactly.
He don't have to invite me to church. I just thought that he was a wholesome type of man that we can have a mature conversation. He's talking about rubbing my damn feet and giving me a massage. That just took the conversation to another level. I wasn't interested at that point because you overstepped, no pun intended, with the feet, your boundaries by putting my feet in this conversation.
Stanley said lies. He didn't ask you for sex.
I don't give a damn. That's where it was going to lead to. Shoot.
And Maxwell, let me ask you this. Even when it comes to the question, I understand the guy was letting me know, what he was looking for and trying to gauge me as a woman and all of that. But what do you think about the question? What if somebody were to ask you, you're talking to somebody trying to get to know them, or you know them, but you're trying to get to know them on a deeper level, and you ask them, and they ask you, I just got home from work. Tell me everything that you would do to let me know that you're a good husband. Okay, go.
I'll probably tell them, but I wouldn't think nothing of it. I'd probably answer.
Yeah, I wouldn't think nothing ever.
But what?
But I don't see that as a big deal. I really don't. Like, I would have probably answered it.
Mm-hmm.
That don't mean I'm gonna do it, but I would have answered it.
That don't mean I'm gonna do it.
It's hot.
It's not a big deal. I guess it's more so of, okay,
You
do
need
this,
to be
now go.
in a total 100% comfort zone for you to date somebody. That's what that is.
I told you what it is. She has to
And
have somewhat of control.
And I'm not saying you're not, but I'm gonna say it feels like you're not being fair to the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Comfort level.
Mm-hmm.
You need things to go at the pace and move the way you wanted to move, not realizing it's two of y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you want a clone, because that would be pretty boring.
Absolutely not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna let you have your comment because you don't know the whole story, but I'm gonna receive your
I feel like
criticism.
No,
you
I
spot
wanna
on,
go off with-
Maxwell.
I'm not talking about the stories, because this isn't the first time you've said that.
Uh-huh.
And people ask you, or they don't talk to you in a way that you feel they should talk to you, so you're not receptive to them. I'm just going off what you say. I'm not going off anything else.
I feel that.
And let me ask you this question, Maxwell, because you was not on the show last week. Tell me how you feel about this. I was talking to this guy, and I said, call me sometime. So I gave him my number. And instead of calling me, he texted me. And so we continued to text back and forth, whatever. So he was saying, well, you can call me I don't even think he said you can call me sometime or whatever. My thing with him was, you did not give me your number and say, call me. So I can't assume just because you text me and I have your number that it was okay to call. She said over here that I'm tripping, that I should call this man.
You want to talk to him?
You gonna leave out all those different details? You want me to add in the other details that you left out?
I didn't leave out anything. My thing, I just said, he did not literally say, here's my number, like I said to him. Here's my number, call me.
May I interject? Before she said that, she said she likes to talk on the phone. She likes to talk on the phone. She said she likes to talk on the phone. I'm like, well, if you like to talk on the phone, you should call him. She said, no, he didn't literally give me his number.
Am I tripping, Maxwell?
You're 50% wrong. And here's why I feel you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter who gave who the number. You got the number now, right?
You're looking at it, texting me.
If you feel like talking to him, call him. But I'm going to say you're 50% right because, well, no, you all the way wrong.
Oh, wow.
And
Wow.
let me tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm sure you never thought about why he doesn't call you. And it's probably not that he doesn't like you or something. It's more, he probably is more comfortable being able to text because you can write words better sometimes than you can say them.
And then, too, I was thinking about this person's schedule, what he has going on during the day or whatever time he texts me, you know. And if I did not literally give someone my number and they got my number through a text, and then all of a sudden hear my phone ring and he said, hey, what's up? What you doing? What? Who is this? I didn't give you my number.
If he didn't text you through a Google number, that means it's safe for you to have his number.
Oh, goodness. I guess nobody's going to see it my way. So,
but I'm saying,
whatever.
even thinking about the schedule and he may be at work, he may be busy and all that, that ain't even got nothing to do with you. If you want to talk, just call. If he's available, he'll answer. If not, he doesn't answer.
It's fine.
You get your feelings?
Oh, no, not at all.
Oh, shit. Lips trembling. Stanley said you didn't want your feet rubbed because they weren't done on that particular day.
Can I ask y'all a personal question?
With the
How
disclaimer.
close are the two of you?
Who?
You two.
Is it a spectrum? Is it a scale that we're going off of? Or?
Oh, this my dog.
I know.
This my dog.
Okay, in the order of the kids, where do you fall, Janae?
Third to the oldest out of 6.
Okay, so out of 6. Would y'all say y'all the two closest?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she has a different relationship with all of us in different ways.
Well, I'm sure of that, but who would you say is the closest? And the reason I'm asking is because I see so many similarities in y'all, and not just looks wise.
Wow.
Mannerisms,
No.
some of y'all thought processes. Because
No.
that whole story she just told is some of your process, your thought process.
Absolutely
Just in a
not.
different scenario. Yes, it is.
That's why I got to draw the line next week. I was with you.
The both of y'all want things to go in the manner that y'all see.
You
them
better say it,
they
Maxwell.
go.
I can agree.
Y'all both see it the same way, and when people don't meet it, it's just the way y'all react to it is
It's
different.
mixed.
No, I'm way more open-minded.
No, you're not.
Absolutely.
I can agree with you, Maxwell.
I get where you're coming from. But honestly, like, I've been doing a little experiment where I've been very, very open-minded, meaning things that I would typically do, I'm doing the opposite. I'm in much more of a flow state than before. And knowing what I know, somebody has texted her and said, hi. And she said, I don't do small talk. I'm not responding to that. I said, all he said was hi.
Don't do me like that.
I'm just trying to put things into context. Come on now.
Well, I already know how Miss Millhouse works. If that hi wasn't followed up by let's do lunch tomorrow, she don't want to eat.
But she cut it off. She cut it off at hi.
Thank you, Maxwell.
Exactly, because she feels like if you're going to say hi, you need to follow it up with something else.
Thank you, Maxwell.
She don't like basic. I get it.
Well,
Thank you, Maxwell.
Well, you're not going to put me in the same boat.
Thank you, Maxwell,
As
because
this one.
my thing is this. If you're texting me and you're calling me and it's like little small talk, I don't like the small talk. Let's get to the meat of things. Let's get into some deeper conversation. Don't just call me or text me with some little 2 words. Let's get to the meat of things because I lose interest. I lose interest really fast.
You are the same way. It's just different. It's manifested different.
It's just different versions.
It's a different version. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Uh-huh.
She like the iPhone 8 Plus, and you like the iPhone 12.
Same damn
whatever
phone.
the newest iPhone is.
The same phone. Happy
Same
damn.
phone, just different version. Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you.
Well, I'm a work in progress. I'm working on me.
I think we all work in progress. I think you just ain't met nobody you like.
Yeah, I can say that.
But
If
she
you meet
has to-
somebody you like. I think that's what it is. That's what I wanted to tell you earlier. Stop trying to be so hard. Kind of mix the old you and the new you up. The new you don't put up with the bull crap, but the old you was kind of nice and sweet and stuff. Merge them.
I got you.
Merge them.
I got you. And the masculine, not the masculine, but the hard me is when I'm in my
It's
masculine state. I get that. I get that.
Merge them. You don't have to go. I don't know. You don't have to go North Birmingham off the top.
Yeah, I'm from Ansley.
You don't have to go west side of Birmingham off the top.
Yeah, it's in my
What part
blood.
of Ansley? You ain't from Ansley for real.
Definitely born and raised.
What part?
You weren't damn born there, was you? You weren't born in
I
no
was
damn
born
Ansley.
at UAB.
Okay.
I don't know where I was living.
That ain't the west side, but okay.
I'm from
we'll let you slide.
Ansley. I went to Ansley and I graduated from jail.
What part of Ansley?
The hillside. I'm not sure if you're familiar. It's the
Bellevue.
hillside and
Bellevue
the
Heights.
lakeside.
Bellevue Heights. Looking area.
Bellevue Heights. Okay. Yeah, we'll give you Ansley border.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm off 20th Street, so
I'm
I guess
off
we'll
30.
give you Ansley
I'm off
border.
33rd.
I know what 33rd is. That's Bellevue Heights,
Mm-hmm.
over by Brown.
No.
Coming on
We're in the
other
middle.
side. Yeah.
The middle neighborhood before you get
Crossing
to the
that
other side.
light.
From the bridge by Bush.
I know. Okay.
Okay, right there.
Yeah, I used to walk that bridge every day.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyway, I don't come straight Ansley, but like you said, I think it's the interest level. If I don't find anybody that I'm initially interested in, it's kind of like you may start getting on my nerves sooner than later. Like my tolerance level is kind of like, ugh.
My hands is up. My hands is up. And that's why a person like her over here needs to date multiple people because she's gonna, excuse
She
me,
don't have the patience
next. So it needs to be like a revolving door of guys, potential mates.
She don't have the patience for it.
I don't even have to say next. A lot of times men eliminate themselves.
but she don't have the patience for it. She already don't like the question asked.
Yeah. And sometimes sometimes she is in her own way.
We're not going to do this.
No, you in your own way sometimes.
We're not going to do this. Because I done excused me out of my way. Maxwell, I've dated guys, and conversations and outings and evenings just flowed naturally. It worked well. It was not forced. I'm serious.
Okay, but
there is a such thing as forced interaction, forced chemistry, forced, conversations versus it just flowing.
Right.
There's a such thing as that.
Okay. But after it flowed, what happened?
It just flows well. It flows until
you do what?
That's a good one.
Till you lose interest.
Yeah.
So what caused you to lose interest? Everything was flowing the way you wanted to go.
The last guy I was dating, I kind of lost interest when I think he was at a different stage of his level of interest and level of at-me-ness with me than I was with him.
See what I'm saying?
No, this
you might need to lay down on my lap.
Wait, let her explain.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
This is real.
Yeah.
Like, he started making plans to relocate himself to where I would probably be going, and we're probably a month into talking, or a month and a half into talking. He's starting to, reach for my hand and...
Damn, you mean?
No,
you
ma'am. Because I'm open-minded. Every time he asks me out, like, I'm very open-minded. It was flowing really well, and it was very much out of my comfort zone. Mm-hmm. But I felt like, again, he was kind of pushing himself on me way too much and too soon. And it started making me feel uncomfortable. Like, he was researching me, and I think he was kind of like falling in love with the idea of who he thought I was and who he wanted me to be. And based on what he was reading and listening to me say, he was doing that and being that person that he heard me talk about versus him just being himself and just letting what we were doing flow naturally. It started to become like...
How do you know that wasn't him?
Because he would reiterate things that he's heard me say and then let me know that I heard you like this type of guy. It was becoming forced, and I told him, you can just be yourself with me. You don't have to try to be something that you feel like that I want. I just want you to be yourself. Just be yourself with me.
Being himself, and himself is, hey, this is the person I'm interested in. This is who she is. This is what she likes. So let me try to provide that. Let me be her safe space.
To me, it sounds like he was trying to be what she wanted instead of being himself. Is that what you said?
Yeah, it was forced. It was becoming forced. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I like you as you are. Because I can see the difference when you're just showing me yourself. And then when you're telling me, oh, I heard you like this, or I heard this type of guy you like. I'm showing you that I'm this type of guy. Let me just be yourself. You're gonna have to
loosen up.
Y'all not understanding.
I understand.
No, I'm
totally.
I think you might have to go. What's your dating range? You're 32. Mm-hmm. What I would say maybe 30.
You got somebody, Maxwell?
30 to
No, all my friends kind of out the game.
Late 40s.
Late 40s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you might have to stick from that 40 to 49 range. I think that would work best for you.
I was gonna say they understand. Not why you say that.
Why do I say that?
Yeah.
Because two reasons. A, we ain't got time to be trying to be somebody else. We pretty much the people we gonna be till we die. Mm-mm. When you're in that range. Second of all, we're gonna be a little more intentional, and it's not gonna be on some cause you cute, or if you gave me the sunshine, it was good. Mm-mm. And that's not to say guys in their 30s aren't intentional, but I think a lot of times their intentional looks different. And I think the 40 to 49 range might be the intentional that you're comfortable with seeing.
We'll see, because he was actually younger than me, but he was probably the most intentional guy that I've heard or met when it comes to knowing exactly what he wanted and was looking for. Like I said, it just turned me off and made me a little uncomfortable. The level of at-me-ness that he had. And I just needed him to be a little bit more patient with me, like relax.
But I think that his intentional was, hey, I got this nice looking woman. My goal is to get this good job. He graduated. I'm sure he's educated, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I got my education. I'm making decent money. I got this pretty lady. It's time for me to get married. Let me go on, put this full court press on her so she'll be ready when I'm ready. I'm ready now, but let me get her ready so I can go ring shopping.
My hand is up, Maxwell.
Yeah.
Because all of that sounds great. But it all boils down to this. She wasn't interested. Because if she was interested, all of those qualities and everything that she mentioned would not be a big issue for her if she was interested.
You are right. I agree.
You're correct.
I totally agree with you. I just think, like I said, his intentional is from the, okay, I graduated, I got my degrees. What do I do now?
Mm-hmm.
When somebody who's a bit older, their intentional is, okay, I don't care about what she does for a living or her education. Of course, I've got my education, but I'm ready to build a family. I'm ready to build a legacy, not because it looks good on paper.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, something to say.
But can I pause you? We have a comment.
Wait a minute, let me say this before I forget. When a woman falls in love, she can fall in love with this one guy. Things may not work out with this one guy. She's going to compare that one guy to everybody she meets. And she's going to, that's the guy that she envisions being with. And she comparing every guy that she meets to that one guy. Mm-hmm. And you discount all of those other guys because he doesn't meet up to that one guy expectations that you had.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
I can say some truth to that. Because until you meet somebody that complements where they were or better, they're going to always be the person that's kind of in that seat until you've met somebody that could kind of replace
and that's
that.
so unfair.
It's real,
Well, I guess I got lucky then.
Andre Connor said, as we can see, if a person doesn't like whoever, anything they say would be a turn off. Mm-hmm. And if you like a person, you would be a little bit more lenient.
Exactly.
I'm late. What's the topic, Cleopatra?
What we talking about? We were pretty much talking about you're single until married.
Mm-hmm. And I can agree with that. And I feel like it's a lot of single women in relationships doing a lot of single
According
things.
to the IRS, you are single till you're married.
Yeah, but
and it's not fair, especially when you're playing house. You're playing this housewife, and you're getting girlfriend treatment, meaning that that's as far as it's going to go. You're just a girlfriend when it comes to finances and all these type of things. You should not merge all of your finances together if you're just a girlfriend.
Even if you're a husband or a wife, you don't need to merge all your finances.
Tootie said sometimes you're single when you're married. Please explain. Oh, she said, okay. Yeah, sometimes you're single when you're married.
That's
because
go.
People be cheating and stuff and still going out all the time like they was when they were single. I get it.
25-1 Baby said, okay, got it. And sometimes after marriage. Oh.
Maybe they're saying that because you seem it's like you're doing more than the other person in that relationship.
She said, I made that mistake when I was younger. I see a lot of single people in marriages too. One tending to the kids, feeding them, feeding everybody in the house, taking care of the responsibilities without any help. Mm-hmm. So you're single, you're just married.
Yeah.
He's not helping you.
Yeah, because a lot of times when a man comes home, she want to give him a break because he's been at work all day. So, it's okay for him to go to the man cave and unwind from a long day. But her long day is still going.
Ain't that a mess?
But she allows him to go and have his space after getting home from work.
That's what Tootie said, unbalanced commitments and contributions.
See?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel two ways about that. Because one of the problems I have is majority of the time the people who talk that I'm married and I'm single and because I'm doing all this around the house, they want the man in their life to be that traditional guy until it doesn't benefit them.
Yeah.
Like, they want him to traditionally pay all the bills while she has to pay for nothing. if she wants the option, if she wants to work or not. But then when the tradition doesn't fit her, now she's single but married because she's got to do all these extra things that she really doesn't feel like up to at the moment.
I think it's more so about having equal responsibilities. You know, because a lot of these marriages, from what I hear, they don't mind going 50-50 in their relationship, but it stops when it comes to 50-50 with the kids. The woman is spending majority of the time with the children when it comes to these marriages. So it's never going to be equal. We're never going to do the same in our relationship because someone is always going to be doing more.
My hand is raised too. Tootie said, a woman's work is never done.
Exactly.
We rise with the sun, and sometimes we're not able to rest until 3 or 4 a.m. She said, can you elaborate, Maxwell? She said, no. Okay, speaking of a woman who pulls her full weight, works outside the home, and maintains the traditional woman's role in the house. That's what I'm talking about. Because women are doing the same things. They're going to work. They're tending
what
to
are
the
these
kids.
men doing? That's what I'm asking.
They're working too, but when they get home, that work stops. And they don't do
chill.
anything outside
Is the person
inside the home.
Well, I guess my question for the person coming is: she going 50-50, or does he have to pay all of the expenses?
I want to ask you before I ask her, what difference does it make?
It makes a big difference.
It's never going to be
In
equal.
what way?
So I don't know if you live by yourself or what, but you don't feel a certain kind of pressure having to make sure everything is paid for in your residence and in your life. You don't feel no pressure.
Not answer my question with a question.
No, I'm gonna get you the explanation. I'm just asking a question to see where your mind is on this. Do you feel some sense of pressure?
I feel a load of responsibility that would be unacceptable if I had a husband that I was coming home to after pulling like a load, taking care of a whole load, and then coming home.
Wait. Now, hold on. Now, times a wife and let's just say 2 kids. So I'm responsible for 3 other people. That's a lot of responsibility and pressure.
Those of you just talking about, you speaking on finances. We're talking about after you clock out from that 9 to 5.
I'm talking about
but I done went to this 9 to 5 all day and put up with crap for the sake
and
of
so has she.
these 3 other people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we not depending on her income. That's for her.
No, y'all, the men that we speak to.
Now, if we going 50-50, yes, we do depend on her income. But you just asked me what difference does it make.
Sorry.
And as a man, that's a lot of responsibility.
But Maxwell.
And hold on. And as with anything in life, there's going to be a trade-off. And unfortunately, that is the trade-off. If I'm fronting everything, then something's going to lack within my family. It's not right, it's not fair, but it happens. Like, there's a trade-off with anything in life.
So you feel that trade-off should be emotional responsibility, because that's ultimately what it is. If a woman is...
A lot of times it's going to be, because I'm burnt out by trying to give my all to make sure I provide for these people in my house.
And
she's not burnt out?
Huh?
Is she not?
Is she not what?
Is she not burnt out?
Yeah, I'm not saying she's not. I'm not saying she doesn't have the right to be. But I'm trying to get y'all to understand. Unfortunately, sometimes as men, we don't get to deal with our stuff like y'all do. And it manifests itself in way different ways than y'all's does.
So I guess that's where the comment comes in, that people are still single when they're in marriages. Because if y'all
That don't mean you single. That don't mean that I don't care. But a lot of times I may be so stressed out and stuff may be so crazy that I can't express it the same way you would be able to. So it's gonna look different from yours.
So she's not stressed out as well, especially if you all doing this 50-50
What I'm trying
thing.
to tell you is, men are going to tend to withdraw.
Look that.
And it's not fair, but women have a certain resiliency to themselves that they'll keep pushing. A man probably gonna end up withdrawing.
And I think that's a huge misconception because a lot of people feel like because women look like they got all the shit together that they're fine. That doesn't mean that she's fine because she's able to hold things together for her job and then come home and then still not clock out but tend to that dinner, bathe,
Homework.
tend to the kids, homework, and all of that stuff, and never even having time to check in with herself and then catering to a man. She's not okay.
And then sex. On
She's-
top of all of that.
She's not okay. And men aren't even asking their woman, how can I help
That's a
you?
huge misnomer because if we really stressed out, we ain't thinking about that.
You don't have time to think about it when you're in go mode. You're just making
Right.
life happen.
Man, still ain't even think about no sex. As a man, we like sex, but sometimes it ain't.
Excuse me.
We don't want to have sex with our women. It's just we might have something going on that's causing our focus to be off. And I'm not saying either way is right. I can only tell y'all from a man's viewpoint how we end up in that situation where it looks like you single but you married.
You have children, Maxwell?
Nope.
So when you get off work, what do you do?
What are you doing now? Watch the goddamn football game.
I do a lot of cooking. So I cook, wash dishes, eat, and chill out till I'm ready to go to bed.
Okay. Well, we're getting ready to log out on this Zoom call here, but we're going to still be live here on our Facebook. So if you want to join us back on Facebook, please do so.
I'll come through for a second and laugh at y'all.
Okay.
Not laugh at us. I can't believe you.
We're going to talk about you on the
But
live.
I really can believe him.
And there lies the problem.
How's my service, y'all? She said, well, would you do that if you had a wife? He has a wife.
There lies the problem.
He has a wife.
They would never understand what a woman has to endure. And when you're in a marriage, that man is supposed to take some of the load off of you just as well as you take some of the load off of him.
You want me to come back on Zoom?
And like I said, I'll be damned if I'm in a relationship and I'm paying 50-50. There is nothing equal about that shit because I'm going to always be doing more in that relationship. So I dare you say, where's your half on this damn light bill? Where's your half on this damn mortgage? Where's your half on this insurance and this car note? I dare you. When little Junior is hanging on my leg crying with his little nasty nose.
Talking all damn day.
And I got to change his pamper. And he grown enough to go get me his pamper and his wipes to come change him.
Telling me he hungry. Then telling me he want to play.
You didn't potty train little Junior. I potty trained little Junior. You get to go in your damn man cave and roll tide. It's not equal, ladies. I don't know what y'all doing in your relationships, but to me it sounds like you have been taken for granted. That's what it sounds like. You've been taken for granted, especially if you're going half on some of these damn bills in these relationships. It's not fair. Somebody's going to always do more. I'm not necessarily saying it's just a woman, but somebody is going to be doing more.
Yeah, that's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
Because we are nurturers. And it's just in our DNA. Even when we're doing so much in the house and we're working, we're going to always want to make sure our man is okay. But who is making sure we're okay?
Exactly.
Who is saying, baby, let me run you some bath water?
I was talking to a lady today, and she told me that she's been married for over 20-something years. She takes care of her husband, just bring him plates, all kinds of stuff. Just take care of him. She got injured last week. She said he not once asked her, was she good? What did she need? She asked him, could he go get gas and put it in the car? He went off. Never once asking her, how is she and what does she need? I think that's unacceptable. That's why I said even when it comes to women coming home from work and still tending to the household. Do y'all even get asked, how are you? How can I help you? What do you need? But just like Maxwell said, they assume that women have got it all together because women always feel like and seem like they got it all together. Do you check in with your woman sometimes and just ask her, how are you? How can I help you? What do you need?
And then it's that label that's placed on us.
That we're strong.
Yeah.
Check in with me. Ask me, I want to be asked sometimes, how was your day?
That all depends on what type of man you have.
But that's what I'm saying. The different affirmations and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Check in with me.
Mm-hmm.
See how I'm feeling. See what I need. See what I need help with.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you have a woman that's always the person that's giving and helping other people. Check in with her.
And that goes back to... That goes back to being single until... Okay, good. That goes back to being single until you married. A lot of women put on until they are given that ring, as trying to be the person that's showing him that I can handle this.
Maxwell says, so how does it get corrected then?
Well, how does it
get corrected when it comes to...
By communicating those things. By assuring her that I'm here for you. You're not in this alone.
Andre Connor said, yes, if he's coming home going straight to bed, he doesn't care, point blank. Now, if you're in a real relationship, that wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen. Oftentimes, we set horrible how do you say that word? Precedents? Mm-hmm. Precedents in these relationships. Andre, you'll be surprised by how many men are coming home from work and going in there and playing the video game while the kids are in the other room with that mother that just got off of work too.
Because that's what she allows. She's okay with that. As long as that man is coming home after clocking out a 9 to 5, the fact that he's home, she's okay with whatever he chooses to do. He don't even hear the noise that's going on all through the day. When he comes home, the kids got to be quiet. Or 9 times out of 10, the kids are already in bed.
Because she's already done all the work.
Mm-hmm. And I would hope, Maxwell, if you ever decide to have kids, that you wouldn't be that type of father. Because a lot of us lead by example. If you were raised in that type of household, to you, it's acceptable because it was norm. It was the norm in your house, for the mother to bring the father a plate, which is nothing wrong with that. For the mother to hold things down in the household, it's nothing wrong with that. But this new generation with this 50-50 shit, that's not equal. And I'm not just talking about finances. I'm talking about the household in itself.
The cooking, the cleaning, the washing,
You bathe the kids while I got dinner, while I'm cooking dinner, or you cooking dinner, and I'm bathing the kids.
The partnership, the team.
That part.
Hello. The teamness. If you guys are on my line, can you let me know how my service is? If my connection is still choppy, or if you can hear me, please. Andre Connor said, I know that. I promise you, if a man loves a woman, he would pick up the extra load just as well as her.
What does love got to do with anything?
I think it's a matter of character.
It's about respect.
What type of person you are. If you're okay and already do those types of things, then it would be kind of second nature for you to just help in or just help around the house as equal as she's doing. Mm-hmm. But if you aren't that type of person, it's going to show up in your relationship, I think.
And then, too, if you don't verbalize.
It's choppy. I'm going to exit out and come back.
And then, too, Janae, if you don't verbalize that with your partner and let them know, this is what I need in our relationship. You have to actually sit down and have those conversations with your partner, because a lot of guys think that everything is okay if you're not complaining about it. And if you're going on with your daily routine of making sure the house is clean, the food is cooked, your clothes are washed, or whatever you do in your household. If no one is complaining, everything is okay.
Why do you even have to complain about it for it to become... Ooh, hello, Tom.
Because he may not be aware. It doesn't necessarily have to be a complaint, but making him aware, And that's why people start to be unhappy in these relationships, because they are overwhelmed.
Andre said love is more powerful than money.
It should be.
Well, I'm just kidding.
It should be.
Oh, hello.
Shit.
Hello.
Girl.
Who got time for this?
I'm just letting these folks know there ain't no equal. I'm not going no 50-50 in no relationship. That shit ain't equal.
Let me know how my service is. Can you hear me? Holla if you hear me. If it's choppy, please let me know. That's so trash. You're not going 50-50. What if you meet somebody because you don't find out that he wants you to go 50-50 off top?
Girl, I'm gonna find that out when we go out to eat.
No, because he gonna pay for your food. Then y'all decide to get in a relationship together. Y'all taking the next steps to move.
Girl, go ahead.
Let me play it out.
Paint the picture.
Let me
go
paint
ahead.
the picture. I got the brush.
Go ahead.
He's doing everything right.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing everything. He's taking care of everything. You have no worries. You have no concerns. You like this guy.
Yep.
He's handling his business.
Right.
He talks about you guys moving in together.
Great.
You get together. He wants to go 50-50.
You know what?
What does that mean, Tootie? Can you hear me?
He does not necessarily have to say we're gonna go 50-50. I can see that throughout our dating history. What's going on with dudes?
You can see his pattern.
Yeah. I can already see what's going on.
And that's a red flag that I saw waving, but I didn't even. I skipped all over that shit, and I heard a guy say that. I was talking to. They can hear me. I was talking to a guy, and he kind of dropped it in the middle of our conversation. Maxwell, don't you get on me? Get you some business. He brought it out in the middle of our conversation, saying how he was dating a girl, and they wanted to go somewhere out of town, and he paid half of it for her. I think that was his way of letting me know that he's a 50-50 type of guy.
Well, he told you that?
He was telling me that.
Yeah.
I didn't even ask. So I think, again, that was his way of letting me know that he was a 50-50 type of guy.
Yeah, of course.
But I skated right on past that comment.
Well, he let you know.
He sure did.
How you feel about that?
Excuse me.
So, those conversations, single into married, in your single stages, those things should be talked about.
Ooh.
Or should you just wait and let it you just find out what's going on?
Andre kind of said, and you shouldn't go 50-50 if that's how you seem to make a relationship work. Understand it takes two people in a relationship. Maxwell said, what's so wrong with contributions from both people? Andre Connor said, I'm so weak. I'm with Maxwell. Y'all are a handful.
There's nothing wrong with contribution. My thing is this thing about half. That's the only problem I have when it comes to someone saying 50-50. Half. You supposed to come in 100% on both ends. If we're going to do 100% on both ends, that's fair. You're not going to tell me where's your percentage of this damn gas bill. Now, where's your percentage of little John boo-boo ass diaper changed? How far are we going to be equal in this relationship? That's my point. I have no problem with however you want to, handle your situation in these 50-50 things. But how equal is that?
Nothing.
Lil John been crying all damn day long, hanging on my leg. But you want to come home and you want to go watch football, talking about some damn Roll Tide. No, come get Lil John. But I go in here and take me a hot bubble bath because I have not been able to do that while Lil John has been up crying. That's what you call being equal in our relationship. That's all I'm saying.
So how do you handle it? What do you do?
We're going to have that conversation before it even get to that point. He's going to already know how things are ran in our house before we even get to that point. While these women out here playing house, honey, please.
Maxwell said John can watch the game with me.
That's what I'm saying, Maxwell. Take little John, little runny nose ass, down in the man cave with you while I go take this bubble bath so I can unwind from the day. And matter of fact, Maxwell, bring me a nice glass of wine while I'm in the bathtub, relaxing.
He gonna probably feel like that's him doing too much. But even when it comes to taking LaJun in there to watch the game with you, did you make sure that he's bathed and ready for bed, or are you waiting on me to get out the tub to come bathe him? You talking about coming in there to watch the game with you like you babysitting him for a minute. Can you feed him or bathe him and get him ready for bed while I'm bathing?
See, that's what you call being equal. Being equal in our relationship.
Andre said, I see your point. So what if it was vice versa and the man stayed home and the woman worked an 8 to 12 shift, 8 to 12 hour shift?
The same would apply.
251
I
baby
can bathe
said,
him before or after. Do that, Maxwell. That's all I'm saying.
Hello. If you want a 50-50 relationship, then some things will need to be discussed. He said, I always call it bays.
Because Maxwell, if you're doing that, that will give me time to give you more attention.
Because you've taken something. Imagine it being a plate of things that you have to take care of.
All right, Coach. Go ahead, girl.
Seriously, everybody has the plate of things that we are taking care of. If you are bringing things and adding things to my plate, absolutely not. My plate is already full. A person has to come into your life and kind of help take things off of your plate. Mm-hmm. I have to help you take some of the things that are off of your plate and add to them value. If I'm adding things like stress, adding things like worry, adding responsibilities and things like that, then you're not an asset to me. Mm-hmm. You are becoming a liability to my plate. Mm-hmm. So if I have my plate of things and you aren't bringing me peace of mind and bringing me luxury if I'm wanting to take a bubble bath, and you're bringing stress and drama and not helping take anything off of this plate. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. Because what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. And see, women are taught to almost be heard, not seen and not heard. Women are almost taught to be seen and not heard. You don't ask a man when he comes home from a 9 to 5. You don't come to him and tell him about all the shit that you've gone through, because he's been through his 9 to 5. You allow that man to come home and unwind from his hard day's work. But no one takes in consideration what she's gone through, because it's not equal. And you know why it's not equal? Because he is supposed to be the sole provider of the household. And she's supposed to not bring that stress to him. That's the problem.
And that's why I say the least somebody can do when it comes to that then is ask, how can I help you? What do you need from me? How can I help?
You don't even have to damn ask. Just do it.
Help me. Or pay attention enough to your woman to know where she needs help. Because sometimes we don't like asking for help.
You want me to switch?
It needs to be plugged up.
I know. I'm just saying. Put it right.
Okay, handle it. Andre Connor said, oh, okay. I see y'all point. That makes sense. That's fair. I'll do that. It's communication. That's not seeing a relationship.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what ebb and flow means? Absolutely.
What is that?
Do you understand what ebb and flow means? Ups and downs, highs and lows.
Yeah, all relationships are going to go through that. But one of many reasons why relationships don't last is because people don't communicate. We assume that a person is okay because that person is not complaining about anything. These women in these relationships are stressed the hell out. That's what's going on.
How do you do this? I was going to say you don't know. Never mind.
Y'all are stressed the hell out in these relationships because you're trying to prove to him that you are wife material. And then the only thing that's going to happen is that you're going to just always be a girlfriend until you put your foot down and let this man know that you have more respect for yourself, especially if you want to be a wife.
So again, how do you not show what type of qualities that you have as a woman without showing those types of qualities? What do you do?
There's no way around not being able to show what type of qualities, but the thing is, you're going to have to verbalize what it is that you expect. Mm-hmm. Because you can be a girlfriend for 10 years. If that relationship ends, this man is on to someone else, and he's got a wife within 6 months.
So after
because she set those standards within her relationship with him.
So after she communicates that, what do you think is supposed to happen? What does he do with that?
I'm sorry to say this, but I'm sorry to say this, but you may have to have an ultimatum.
I don't really like that though.
I don't care. You may have to have an ultimatum because a lot of times a person may not take you serious unless he knows there's some consequences behind what you're saying.
I think that goes into the force versus flow thing. But I think that...
But how do you do that, though? If you put your foot down and say, this is what I expect, this is what I want, do you put a time frame on that? Or you just give it another year or two?
I think that you kind of still have to know what a person's intentions are. If they have intentions on ultimately, not intentions with you per se, but let's just say I ask you, what are you looking for? And you say, I want to get married. I'm trying to talk to you. And you ask me, what am I looking for? I don't really know if I want that. That's where you know.
Yeah.
But if a person that you talk to says they equally want the same thing, it may get there. If y'all are on two different pages when it comes to your intentions of what we're doing.
But women, they don't hear that.
What do women hear?
They don't hear what he's saying as far as he doesn't, want to get married or whatever. She sees it as a challenge. She sees it as something that I can change his mind on.
Yeah. That's when you're involved deeply. That's when you don't hear things. But when you just listen to what a person says from a different perspective and not being involved with them, you can kind of hear everything. So, I think that goes back to what we talked about last week, too. She gonna have to be the one to move around. Because Adrian already told us he's not going nowhere.
I just really hate this for, a lot of women when it comes to investing so much time into a person that only sees you as a damn girlfriend. He only sees you as a girlfriend with benefits. The benefits that you're providing as benefits as a wife. You're making sure the house is clean. You're making sure his dinner is ready. And he can't give you that commitment as being a wife. If that's something that you choose. Everyone does not desire to be a wife. But if that's something that you want to be, you're going to have to make some changes. Or you're going to just always be a girlfriend.
So when it comes to being single and to married, right? And you want something, but it's not happening. Do they have room to explore? Or are they in a commitment?
That's something that you have to have a conversation
it's interesting,
about.
Right?
You have a conversation. We're single, and we can see other people. We're single, but we're committed. You just have to have that conversation with one another. How you feel about that? You feel like you need to have a conversation? Although you're not, we're single, but we're not married. But we're in an exclusive relationship.
Exclusivity means you and I.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the question? So what's the question? I think it goes back to communication. Understanding what that looks like for one person and what it looks like for yourself to make sure that y'all are on the same page.
Okay, we're single, but we're in a relationship. We're exclusive with one another.
Okay.
We plan on, my thing is, if we're exclusive, that means that we plan on getting married one day.
Have you talked about that? Have y'all said that together for each other?
We haven't said that, but in my mind, that's what I'm thinking.
How does he know that unless y'all talk about it? Communication. If you are on my live, can you hear me?
Girl.
Or is it choppy? Please let me know. Thank you. you have any questions or comments, please ask them. Please share them. We would love to hear them.
Y'all sitting back 5, 10, 15 years or whatever, waiting on this little bitty ass ring. And then a lot of men say they don't want to get married because they're not financially stable. They don't want to get married because they're not going to marry you. That's an excuse when they say they're not financially stable. But here we are staying together. Here we are struggling together. But you don't want to marry me because you're not financially secure. That's a bunch of crap. He doesn't want to marry you.
Tootie said, common law marriage is dead. 20, what does this say? 251K baby said that's an excuse.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he don't want to marry you. Because it doesn't cost it doesn't cost anything or much to go to City Hall and get married.
Tootie said they're settling.
I'll be damned. This life that we're living right now is short. You have to make the best of the life that you have now, going forward. What you think?
I said, do you want some more?
Just a little bit. Just a little snibby.
Hello.
Just a little snibby. Make the best of your life.
I know many of us have probably settled in some of our relationships.
Of course.
And a lot of times we settle because we just like the comfort of having the idea of someone. Mm-hmm. Because people don't like to be by themselves. So people would rather have at least something that I can say is mine instead of saying that I'm single or I'm by myself. Me, on the other end, I'm opposite of that. I'd rather just date me and be single without any types of titles if I feel like I'm settling with somebody.
And what's that damn song? A piece of man is better than having no man at all. What?
Absolutely unacceptable. I think I skipped that because that ain't even the type of vibe I'm trying to bring.
A piece of a man.
Sick of being lonely. Yeah, but you're still lonely because you're still single in this relationship. Right? If you still feel like you are emotionally single and you're in a relationship, you're single. If you still feel like that you're making all of the decisions for not just your relationship, but your personal life, and you need someone that you can feel like you can talk to and vent to and share that mental capacity and mental space with, and you're not getting that, you are single in a relationship. If you are handling all of your financial responsibilities on your own, man or woman, without, I'm not going to say contributions as far as finances, but it can be verbal contributions, just helping with decision making. If you don't have that type of support from your partner, you're single in a relationship. No?
And you know what it is too?
Hello.
Being afraid.
No.
We're afraid.
We're
afraid to be in this world or this thing called life alone.
Yeah.
And I think the best thing that you can do for yourself is to experience what being alone looks like. So it won't be something that's unfamiliar to you. Because a lot of women get into these relationships and they get with any and everything for the fear of being alone.
And accept any and everything.
But first, you got to know what it feels like to be alone. Happily alone. You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me.
You got to know what that feels like. To walk into your house knowing that this is your sanctuary. This is where you get your peace. Knowing what that shit feels like. Versus being in a relationship with someone that you're not meant to be with. You know what I'm saying?
I think
every woman, every woman and every man should know what it feels like to have your own shit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that goes back to just feeling whole without having to have somebody else to complete you. 251K baby said, single, happy, at peace. I'd rather be single than be with someone who is settling.
I'd rather be with you. Yeah. Wait a minute. Yes, I'd rather be with you. Ooh.
Single, happy, and at peace. I'd rather be single than be with someone who is settling for me or using me as a place filler. I feel that. If you ever feel that you are settling with me, go on, leave me alone. Because ain't no way.
But what if I like the benefits that came with being with you?
You ain't no settling with me. You feel what I'm saying?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Settling over here.
Okay, wait a minute. I'm not getting ready to give up this damn hot pot roast that you slow cooked for me. I'm not getting ready to give that up right now. I'm not willing to give up you running me some damn hot bath water. I'm not ready to give that up right now.
Ooh. What are you bringing to the table?
Fuck that. I'm not willing to give up this damn hot pot roast.
What are you bringing to the table? Because if you're getting hot pot roast and everything else from that space, what are you bringing to it?
I'm giving you the comfort of knowing you got a man.
Damn. Look, that sure sound kind of nice.
You get ready. You consider to see these muscles.
Damn, that sure do sound kind of nice.
These little foot rubs and stuff that I give you.
Oh, absolutely.
The little forehead kisses.
Absolutely.
The little coming behind your back while you at the stove and hugging you and kissing you on your neck.
Absolutely.
See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? This man not giving up them damn pot roast meals.
And she ain't getting rid of that shit either.
Hell no,
keep
she
on
giving
cooking
it
them
up.
meals.
Hell no.
Damn.
That's what you bringing to the table.
But if you're settling and you know that you don't want, if you don't see the full picture.
Well, she see the potential. She see the potentials. You mean to say, you think that this woman getting ready to give up all of that?
Hell no. For the possibility of having to deal with all this other bullshit
Or being by herself.
But even like I said, the single dating life is like trash. Like, ugh.
And that's why she's not finna give up this Build-A-Bear.
I'd be damned.
She's not finna give up this Build-A-Bear because of what her girlfriends are telling her about what it's like out there when it comes to being single and dating.
We definitely do build people.
Mm-hmm. Girl, if I was you, I'd go and work with that. I'd work with him, girl. It was just a little black eye. You'll be all right.
Angela Fraser said, you have to know what it feels like to be happy and alone first.
Exactly.
So when you meet someone and it doesn't work, you're comfortable going back to single and happy because you know what it feels like. You kept it moving.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't affect you as much, and it doesn't affect you as much.
Mm-hmm.
I can agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Because you, like you said, you know what it feels like to be by yourself and be good without all the extra stuff that came with what you're with, and it's not working.
And that's what I've always wanted for my girls, is to know what it feels like to be by yourself and to accomplish. You didn't know that?
I don't think you told us that.
Well, let me tell you this right now. I always wanted you all to know what it felt like to accomplish things by yourself. That's why when y'all were younger, you always had things, because I didn't want you all to think that you had to get that from a man. You already knew what it was like to have a car. You already knew what it was like to have these material things. So when a man came along, it wouldn't be an influence to you. Because it wouldn't be a big deal to you, because you already knew what it was like to have these things.
But outside of the material things, like you said, things like emotional support, things like having comfort in a male's presence and a male's energy, those are things that sometimes women crave too.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
So yeah, but I definitely understand being whole by yourself, because I ain't gonna even lie. Right now, I'm good. I'm at peace. I desire and I have my desires are strong, but I'm at peace. Because I know what peace looks like. And I know what chaos feels like. And I know what discomfort feels like, and confusion, all that type of stuff, and disrespect, different things like that. Oh my God, absolutely Excuse me.
And you know what else? You know what it feels like? Peace. When you see that man, you already know. I'm not trying to talk like they're Tyler Perry movies, but that man was made just for me.
Oh, absolutely.
You already know. This man, that's what God had me waiting for. Yeah. That's what God was preparing me for.
Really, Maya?
What you say?
See, I love you.
What time is it?
10:25.
All right, baby.
See,
Be careful. Love you. That's what I've been waiting for. You'll know that within the sound of his voice.
Like, ooh, bingo.
Just the way he makes you feel. All these other little things, these little frogs and shit that you've been kissing along the way, those frogs were preparing you for that prince.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But I was watching an interview one time.
Hello.
I get that. I feel you. 100%. But I was watching an interview one time of a married couple, and the wife was saying how she knew that he was her person when things that he said or did didn't make her say, ugh. Mm-hmm. And as small as that may sound, that spoke so many volumes because I understand that. And I think that goes back to what we were talking about in the beginning. Those small little things that make me say, ugh, you get on my nerves. You're not my person.
Right.
Because anything else, it would just flow.
Right.
It wouldn't feel like I'm having to excuse how I think or how I feel just to satisfy or compliment and be in your space. It would just work. Not saying that things don't get rocky sometimes. I get that. But for the most part, I'm not looking at you and listening to you talk and saying, ugh. If I'm disgusted by you, that's not going anywhere. Because, ugh.
Yeah. Or even when the phone rings, the smile on your face that you have knowing that it's him versus someone called and it's like,
that's what I'm trying
don't waste your time. Wait a minute. Don't waste your time with a,
that's what I'm trying to tell you. Absolutely not. So if you ever feel like, ugh, or what, about anybody that's calling your phone or texting you and asking you to see you or come out, that's not going to work. Because like you said, sometimes just seeing the damn name pop up on the phone does something to my damn heart. You know what I'm saying?
Girl.
Seriously. It matters. It counts. Versus seeing a phone and then hitting that button like, absolutely not. Ugh.
Just like someone I saw a video where this woman, she received a phone call. It was like 3:00 in the morning. And she looked at the phone like, and then another time picked up the phone. It was 3:00 in the morning with another guy. Hi, baby. Were you asleep? No, I wasn't asleep. I was just getting into bed.
That's a real thing.
Yeah, that's a real thing. That's when you know.
That's a real thing. That's all I'm saying. So, I'm not mad at me for knowing that people are not going to work for me because I'm doing you a favor. I'm letting you know that we're better as friends. I'm letting you know that, we can just be cool because I know me. You're getting on my nerves.
And you know what? That is growth.
I think it's growth and awareness.
Hey. You know what it is? It's growth. Because you have not always been that verbal communicator. This is growth. This is Coach True right here.
Oh my goodness. This is Janae.
No, this is Coach True. You're a different person than you were before. Janae probably would just listen to the little frogs and shit like that. But Coach True, excuse me. You're not getting ready to waste your time, honey. And that's your right.
And I don't want to waste your time.
Good.
I don't want to waste nobody's time. And I think that should be respected.
Well, you look like sitting across the table having lunch or brunch with someone that you don't feel or see a future with. Girl, go somewhere.
I wouldn't even be able to fake that at this point because I'm not that hungry. Think about it. A lot of people go out, I'm going to go get this meal. I am not that hungry to sit across from the table from somebody that I have zero interest in.
Ain't that something?
I don't have any interest in sitting across the table from you.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
At all. I'm not that hungry.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And I'm starving.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I love a good meal.
If you say you're not hungry,
I love a good meal.
I can respect that.
But I'm not interested in going out of town with nobody. that I know that it's not going nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Getting flued out and all that shit, it sounds good and it's cute.
You ain't gonna get flued out.
If I'm not interested, Mama, Cleopatra, who are you right now?
I'm Cleopatra.
If I'm not interested right now, I don't have a desire to hold space with somebody like that because I
That's
don't
what
want to
I'm
have to
trying to
restrict
tell you.
me in my interactions with you. And
That's
if I
what
know
I'm
that I'm
trying
not interested, I'm not coming.
And let me tell you something. Based on what you just said, leave me the hell alone. Because that's how I feel.
Now,
Me being as grown as I am, I don't give a damn about dates and being invited out to dinner if I'm not interested.
but Mama,
Ain't no mama nothing. It's Cleopatra.
but Cleopatra,
I am not interested.
but how do you know?
I am at peace being in the comfort of my own home with peace. You know what I'm saying?
So if you meet somebody and you want to talk to them,
Mm-hmm.
are you comfortable calling them?
If I'm interested. It has to be interest there before anything else can go.
Okay.
You are a version of me, like Maxwell said.
Girl, I'm trying to shake all that shit off.
You are a version of me.
I'm shaking